And why are we here? Because it's a Rotary conference and it's our only conference during the year. So it's great to all be together again, seeing old friends and catching up with new ones, listening to new things, and here to support Ringa and Bra.
And I like to get an injection of the blue and gold.
I'm Sengutuan from India, from Rotary Club of Hero, District 3203. It's my pleasure to be here as a guest speaker on Rotary service projects which we have done in India. I see a lot of friends, Rotarians, even from other countries.
Hi, my name is Tara.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're here for the Rotary District Conference today.
We are super excited to be the MCs of today's conference, and we're really excited to see all the inspiring keynote speakers that will be presenting for us today.
Can't wait!
Yay!
Rotarians, partners and guests today here at our conference, and we're very excited to be your MCs.
So Rotary has always been about people who see challenges in the world and want to do something about them. Today we're going to hear from incredible speakers who are leaders in science, the community development, personal resilience and service. Their stories remind us that the difference one person can make is huge and the power of togetherness is even larger. Thank you all for being here, and we hope you have a truly inspiring day.
If everyone can please now stand for the national anthem. Thank you.
Australians,
all let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
I'd like to welcome everybody here on this land of Gadigal and Bidjigal people. This place here is one of the first spots, or actually Governor Phillip came knocking on our door. So it's good to see, this whole area is very indifferent. Women's areas, big birthing areas where babies are born underneath a tree. Yeah, it's an amazing spot because this spot is also a huge spot for medicine. There's a lot of medicines that is in, especially around in the Saltpan Creek. But it's very good to see other community members that actually do things in the community. Look, I can see he's all here, even though I'm nervous because I'm up here. But I can see, look at the smiles, and the times it makes us very happy and delighted. But believe in this: for every action that we do within the community, there's a reaction to that. And if it gets received really greatly and warmly, well, what can I say? Our jobs in the community, it shows and tells how we go about doing our things for our community. Like Auntie here, she's involved with domestic violence. Keeps uncle in line. See what I mean with a smile on that? So I'd like to say thank you very much.
Good morning, Rotarians, partners and distinguished guests. A very warm welcome to the Rotary District 9675 Conference, Aspire to Inspire. It is my great pleasure as Conference Chair to welcome you all on behalf of the Organizing Committee. Today is a celebration of Rotary service, leadership and fellowship across district. We have an exciting program with inspiring speakers, engaging sessions, plenty of food, and meaningful connections. Take this opportunity to learn, share ideas, and build stronger friendships. Let us leave this conference motivated to more good in the world. Thank you for being here, and for your continued commitment to Rotary. Together, let us aspire to inspire. Thank you. Enjoy the day.
It's my great honor and privilege as a District Governor of Rotary District 9675 to warmly welcome you, one and all, for this District Conference, Aspire to Inspire. Today we are joined not only by Rotarians, but also by many friends, supporters from wider community. Whether you are a long-time Rotarian or joining as a guest today, you are all part of this gathering of people who believe in making a positive changes in this world. This year, Rotary International calls on with the powerful message, Unite for Good. These three simple words, the Unite for Good, the true spirit of Rotary, when people come together with a shared purpose, amazing things happen. Communities are strengthened, lives are transformed, and hope is created where it is needed most. A district conference is more than a gathering, it is a celebration. Hope you will all agree. A celebration of service, ideas, leadership, and above all, fellowship. It is a time for us to pass, reflect on the incredible impact we create together in our communities and across the world. When we bring all these stories together in one place like today, we see the true power of Rotary. This year's theme of the conference, Aspire to Inspire, reminds us something very important. Inspiration does not come only from the grand gesture. Often it begins with simple aspiration, a decision to make things better. A Rotarian who decides to mentor a young man, a club that starts a small community project, a member who reaches there someone in need. These aspirations become actions, and these actions inspire others. This is how Rotary works. One person inspires others, one club inspires others, and together we create a ripple of positive changes that reaches far beyond what we imagine. Throughout the day, you will hear from the inspiring speaker, from local as well as international, share the innovative ideas, celebrate outstanding achievement, and participate in the engaging breakout session designed to bring laughter, knowledge, and creativity. Don't miss that breakout sessions. Food for thought, fun, fellowship, and friendship. As we spend this day together, let us continue to aspire. Aspire to serve, aspire to lead, and aspire to make our communities better. And most importantly, we will leave this conference re-energized, reconnected, and ready to serve with even great passion in 26-27. Because when we unite with a purpose and passion, we truly unite for good. When Rotarians come together with a purpose, there is no limit. Sky is our limit. We can achieve it. Thank you for being here, and thank you for everything you do. Make Rotary such a powerful force, not only in this district, across the world. At this juncture, I'll officially open this conference, and I wish you all the wonderful and inspiring conference. Thank you very much.
My particular passion in Rotary, and I guess we all have quite a few, but my particular is the foundation. And I've been involved in the foundation now for quite a while, and I find that one of the things about the foundation is just knowing the vision and what it says gives me a really good opportunity to focus. The fact that we're going to do good in the world. It's simple, isn't it? Doesn't sound as though it's a very difficult thing to remember, and I know that every one of you who are Rotarians, and probably your friends, know as well that we've said we've joined because we want to give service above self, but we'll work into the area now that I'm particularly working in, it's doing good in the world. And the interesting part about Rotary is we've got so many causes. So it's very interesting that we've got lots of causes. It might be that what you like to do is to look at how you can get clean water to communities. And I've had a lovely time in Papua New Guinea working with them as we got tribes together that used to fight, and we found ways that we could give them a combined way to get water to their tribes And then they didn't fight because they had to work together to get that water. How great, what a great outcome. I love it. I've been doing some work in Tanzania with my own club and work with a little school there, and they used to have a lot of illness and the kids couldn't come to school. And over the years, the district, or my club in particular, has gone back every 2 years and worked with the locals on the ground, and we found ways to build a kitchen, to get some toilets, to get a library in place, all those things you can do within one of the causes of Rotary. Right now, I'm a bit focused on the two major programs of Rotary, and that's the eradication of polio. And how many times have you been somewhere and somebody says, our big key is that we're going to get involved with polio? Well, we're not. We're getting involved with the eradication of polio. And back in 2018, the first time I was a district governor, up in Papua New Guinea, they had an outbreak of polio. There were 26 cases. And I think when you go along and you meet some people who are actually victims of a horrible disease that we've been working decades for to get rid of, so that now there's not 350,000 cases a year, but last year there were 47 cases in the whole world.
I'd like to please put your hands together to welcome Matt.
I want to start by just sharing the story I'm going to share today. It might be a little bit sensitive to some of you, though I hope you can see the underlying message beneath it all. And before I share with you what happened to me, because you're probably thinking, what's this young guy in a wheelchair doing? I want to take you back to before my injury. And this was me at 16 years old. My aspiration at the time was these bodybuilders I would see in magazines, on social media, online, and that's what I thought I needed to achieve. I thought the biggest thing that I could work towards was this body dysmorphia that I had, and everyone around saw capability and they saw confidence. Unfortunately, behind the scenes was a completely different story. As much as I'd worked for that body for years, I deep down felt worthless. I didn't tell anyone. And I posted that photo on my Facebook. I got all the attention in the world. No one would have guessed that a week later, I actually jumped 7 stories to try to end my own life. Constantly thinking to myself the same thing. If I believed I was worthless beforehand for so many years, how pathetic am I now that I wake up in hospital with all these injuries and I can't feel or function half my body? And I'll never forget the day. This is now a month after my injury. I'm finally out of ICU and I'm in the spinal ward. 4 months after my injury, it was my first day trip out with my mum. I was still in hospital and we were on a train, and I'll never forget this day. This brash, real bold Aussie guy comes on the train, and before he even sits down, he looks to his right and he says, "Mate, what did you do to yourself?" And here I am with my mum, I'm in this wheelchair. As much as I lied to everyone in the past, for some reason, to this guy, I said the truth. He sort of just got it out of me. I said I attempted suicide, and he laughed. He said, "That was pretty stupid, wasn't it?" But then he asked me the question that I'll never forget. "So what are you going to do about it now?" And I didn't know how to answer him at the time, but what that question was the question that I needed to ask myself, because it cut through all the pity. There was no feeling sorry for me. There was no, my life's over. No, I was in this wheelchair. Matt, you can't turn things around. You've done what you've done. I was able to share a little bit of hope with the community. And it really meant a lot. And now fast forward a year after my injury, I was asked by my social worker, same one that I had in hospital, to come back for a meeting and to meet and chat about potentially speaking and sharing my story. But she reminded me of the guy in the train, and she said to me, Matt, what if you could help others help you? You opened up once, and my first time sharing was to a group of 30 young people the same age as me. I was 17 at the time, they were all the same age, and afterwards, these young people came up to me and they said, Matt, I found it really inspiring. Some said they wanted to help their friends, and some were asking for strategies about how they can support themselves. And what Ranga said earlier on about working from a foundation of purpose can really share hope. I never, at the time, saw that. But what I realized was, after that first time sharing my story, I was the person that I needed when I was younger. And I just kept showing up at that program every 3 weeks, and I was still in high school. I finished high school that year, and I started picking up the phone cold calling. I had so many knockbacks you wouldn't believe. It took me 9 months of cold calling before I nailed my first speaking gig. And I'll never forget, it was Glenwood High, 2018, and I was with their year 11s. And the message from her name is Corinne Jones, the year coordinator, she said to me, Matt, we've had a handful of students actually reach out for support for the first time after hearing you speak. And I found I just needed to keep working from this purpose. I had to keep working from this place that really meant a lot for me. And I kept contacting schools, I kept reaching out to organizations, and eventually it grew and grew. I was very honored. Last year I spoke at the Business Chamber South Gala Dinner alongside Premier Chris Minns, John Brogdon, Rose Jackson was there as well, amongst a couple of other mayors. And this message of being able to share hope with other people, it's what I needed when I was younger. And thankfully it's resonating, and I'm able to aspire to inspire others with what I needed when I was younger.
And when I think about the work that we all do, that's what it really requires, is for inspiring people. You know, how much can we do? There is, of course, within all of us, the spark that says there is so much we can all do. But I think the important thing is that it's about partnerships, it's about the team effort. As we heard from Matt, you know, we're all part of a team, an ecosystem of your cheering squad, whether it's your family, your friends, your colleagues at work. And I think if we can make the world a better place by kind of making ourselves available to those who need us and those who are less privileged than we are, then I think, to me, we would have left the world in a better place. And I think, so what do we do at the Smart Center? Basically, that research that allows us and make something meaningful out of it. So we're not just sort of saying, well, you know, it's waste, it's somebody else's problem, somebody else will recycle it. You know, let's just kind of worry about putting it into our yellow bins, and then, you know, there's going to be some kind of, I don't know, a recycling fairy who's going to come and take it away. Well, there is no such thing as a recycling fairy. This is us collectively supporting each other to be able to do all the right things. So, center, we look at all kinds of materials, but more importantly, to be able to say, what does it take to translate science into meaningful, impactful outcomes for our communities? That's really what it's all about. It's not about just saying, well, we do science for the sake of doing science. It's about saying, how do we then deliver real-world outcomes? So from that perspective, just to share with you a little bit of our vision, of course, we all know that whether it's coming out of our homes or our offices in Australia and globally, when we produce waste resources, we have to start to talk about them as resources, not as materials that are simply going to end up in landfill or stuff that we're just going to burn away. Because remember, we've already used Mother Earth to remove materials We've already done that once. Why would we not look at how we might reform these materials over and over again to make new innovative products? Because that will allow us to create local jobs in those local communities where not only jobs are needed, but more importantly, the products that are then made are equally required. Basically, you might not be aware that 1 in 3 Australians over 65 actually fall each year. And that actually means 400 older Australians are actually hospitalised each day for a fall. And this actually costs our healthcare system $3 billion every year. And this is for falls in older Australians. And so we would suggest that this major public health problem is actually not given the attention that it deserves. And we do actually know that 20 to 30% of falls can actually be prevented in a 1-year period. And we're going to tell you a bit about some of the interventions that have been shown to work. But Australia actually doesn't have a national action plan or policy to do something about falls. But we really also want to get the message out that falls are actually preventable, not inevitable. And so to try and get the message out more and to try and bridge that gap between the size of the problem, the evidence that we have from research, and the lack of awareness and investment, we worked together to set up the Falls Prevention Alliance of Australia. We're asking government for a national media campaign to get the message out more on falls and a dedicated website where people can go to get evidence-based information. We're also asking for a national action plan. And we're also asking for better funding for evidence-based fall prevention interventions. And so I was speaking to someone earlier who has a media background, and so we're really keen to sort of get more help with people with different type of skills, particularly media and advocacy and government relations, to really help us with this program.
So the Rotary Foundation is Rotary International's global philanthropic organisation. We donate to it, and it transforms our donations into service projects that change the lives of people close to home and around the world. So it exists to help you and your club increase your impact on the community. The great news is that the Rotary Foundation is a charity to be incredibly proud of. It's been rated in the top 1% of all charities worldwide for 17 years in a row. And in fact, it is the highest rated charity based in Australia. So there are lots of other wonderful charities, but the Rotary Foundation is the best available. So last financial year, the Rotary Foundation achieved all of these outcomes. It awarded 424 global grants, 468 district grants, 74 disaster response grants, and it renewed agreement with the Gates Foundation to end polio now. In terms of funds raised, worldwide, Rotarians raised $569 million in donations from clubs and individuals, and also philanthropic organisations and individuals as well. And the endowment fund for the first time surpassed $2 billion, and that's fantastic because that's the future of the foundation, enabling it to continue to be able to support these amazing projects around the world. Additional donations from the Rotary Foundation, they've enabled these amazing 13 projects to proceed. So I'd really like to offer congratulations to everyone involved, but particularly to DG Renger for his passionate support of these amazing projects. Thank you.
We're the local agency, that foundation, the Rotary Foundation Australia, is the local agency that facilitates the tax deductibility for your and my donations through to the Rotary Foundation. But they do a couple of other roles. They provide resources for presentations to clubs and districts that you want to access from the website. They also provide the ability for us to give money directly to Australian projects, and they fund Australian projects, specifically disaster projects, disaster relief projects as well. So that's just the the Rotary Foundation of Australia. So we basically are supporting the Rotary Foundation, and Wendy Clitheroe, who got up earlier, and I are proud board members of that organisation for the zone. But my job is to wrap up the session for the foundation in general, and the best way I think I can wrap this up is to emphasise the big projects that the foundation has undertaken from this district, and projects that you have inspired. The biggest one, many of you will know this one, but in 2020, James Allen and the Sydney Club. James, are you here today? James? Amazing guy. From the Sydney Club, started the project Give Every Child a Future. It was initiated, as I say, in Sydney Club and supported by nearly every club in the district. The project involves 100,000 vaccinations of children to 9 South Pacific countries, and it's going on at the moment with partnering with UNICEF. And it's worth $5 million. We got a lot more money from the Rotary Foundation than simply what we donated into it. And it all started from us, from our district, from James Allen Sydney Club celebrating the 100th anniversary of Rotary in Australia. So I just want to emphasise, I mean, we are in the big league from this district doing these projects. There's been other projects that I'd like to mention from the past. Aboriginal health services in Western Sydney, Indigenous employment opportunities, and a terrific project from Kiama Club, which involves prevention measures for rheumatic fever and rheumatic heart disease. Again, Australian projects generated through Rotary Foundation and inspired by all of us. So we should be congratulating ourselves for those things and what's going forward. So these are all initiatives from our district, all that you have supported, including, by the way, the 13 projects that Rebecca listed, that Renger and Taya have assisted, that are ongoing right at the moment. All these projects, together, by the way, with our international activity, result from your contribution to the foundation. So please consider the foundation as one of your preferred charities. Think about becoming a centurion, think about joining the Paul Harris Society, and please encourage your club to donate on your behalf. These clubs come back to us and help us do the community service that we've joined Rotary for, and they help build Rotary and build the district. Thank you very much.
There are 145 countries with 14,911 Interact clubs. We have 10 Interact clubs in our district. Benefits of Interact are rewarding not only to Interactors, but to the teachers and Rotarians mentoring them. It also, our Rotaract Club speaks every year to the Interact Club about we've got a UOW and Illawarra Rotaract Club in our area, and we have gained Interactors into Rotaract. 2 specific projects I would like to refer to now that are excellent examples of social impact through Interact. Firstly, a project that has been launched late last year is the Global Interact Schisto project, and as you can see why we've called it the Schisto project. It's difficult for the kids to pronounce, let alone me. It was launched worldwide. I've been on district Interact chairs international meetings, which are very challenging for our part of the world in time frame, although India was saying they're all up at 5 o'clock anyway, so we were laughing about that because we were on that meeting. It was launched, and I've become quite passionate about it, and I've dealt with Interact and Rotary clubs that are very passionate about it as well. We introduced the project at our district president's meeting, and District Secretary Kay has sent out all the information to the clubs, and literally $2 can save a life. A German pharmaceutical company has committed to supplying the 5 strawberry flavoured tablets that will cure this waterborne disease in children in Tanzania. The pilot project has already been completed. Give a job to a Rotary club and they've done it. They've coordinated with the pharmaceutical company, and it's already the supplies are going directly to the supply and distribution directly to the areas in Tanzania that need it. Once this pilot is finished, and as the success in Tanzania are eradicating this awful waterborne disease, it will then be promoted through the other 7 countries in Africa that need the help. So, my attempt is schistosomiasis is a disease that greatly affects children. With this, Interact has been called for kids to help kids, and I think that's wonderful. We hope to make the fight against schisto the leading project for Interact districts and clubs around the world. Congratulations to Rotary Club of Sutherland, the first Rotary Club to donate $1,000 to the project. And St Mary's Star of the Sea Interact was the first Interact fundraiser. They raised $400, and on every little bag they sold of mini lollies that were all red because of the strawberry tablets, they wrote, "Thank you for saving a life." The kids went away from that line and more kids came back, going, for $2 we can save a life.
Today I want to talk about something incredibly important, and that's the future of Rotary. Rotary has built something extraordinary over a century, and Rotary has changed lives through an individual basis. And it's truly shown people what service above self truly means. But every great movement must ask itself an important question. What comes next? Who will carry these values forward? Who will lead the next generation of service? Who will ensure that Rotary not only continues, but grows stronger for the decades ahead? The answer to that question is already standing beside Rotary. That answer is Rotaract. Rotaract brings together young people who believe in service, leadership, and community. Young people who want to contribute, who want to lead, and who want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And I'm pleased to say that here in our district, Rotaract is growing. Today, our district is home to 5 Rotaract clubs: Illawarra, Wollongong University, Southwest Sydney, Macarthur, and the Nepean region. Over the past year and a half, we've already seen incredible growth. 2 new clubs have been chartered, Macarthur Rotaract and my own club of Nepean. In fact, my club celebrates its 1-year birthday in 2 weeks. That growth tells us something important, that young people are out there and they want to serve. And there are young people who want to be something bigger, a part of something bigger than themselves. And Rotaract provides that opportunity. Through programs like Ripen, Ryla, Interact, and Rotary Youth Exchange, we already see thousands of young people connecting with the brand of Rotary every year. These programs ignite leadership, they build confidence, and they introduce young people to the values Rotary shares. But too often, these young people complete these programs and the journey stops there. That is where Rotaract must step in. Rotaract is the next journey on that chain, a place where someone who can attend Ripen can continue to grow, a place where someone inspired at Ryla can lead their own project, a place where young people can develop leadership skills, build friendships, and strengthen their commitment to service. And eventually, those Rotaractors become Rotarians. That is the pathway we must build. From Ripen to Ryla to Interact to Rotaract, and ultimately into Rotary. When we connect those links together, we do more than support young people. We secure the future of Rotary itself. We must also acknowledge the reality facing many community organisations today, and I think that is a tough one that we will come to bear and talk to together. Across this country, membership in community organisations continues to decline. People are busier, communities are changing, and the way people volunteer is evolving. And Rotary has not been immune to those challenges. And I think we all know that. But Rotary has something incredibly powerful. Rotary already has programs, the missions, and the values that young people are looking for. What we must do now is energise those pathways to bring them in. People you are already supporting through Rotary youth programs are incredible. They are leaders, they are innovators, and they are the Rotarians of tomorrow. Our job together is to make sure that they have a place within the Rotary family. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
As Director, I had the really unique opportunity of working with an amazing leadership team to create a RILA program that would support young leaders and provide them with the tools to grow their confidence, resilience, and teamwork. We worked to achieve this by carefully selecting speakers like the ever popular Nick Gleason, Rebecca Fry, by facilitating leader activities and reflection groups, and also outdoor experiences like a Big Spin and Survivor. All of these activities speak to our main focus, which was to facilitate an environment that was both challenging and deeply supportive.
We need your help. How can you do this? Firstly, we need you to help put the word out. We need your clubs to put funds aside now or fundraise for the $950 participant fee. We desperately need you to come up with nominees for RILA, young people aged 19 to 25. Some places to look for these might be past RIPEN attendees, Rotaractors, other community groups, for example, SES, church groups, sporting groups, your employees, family members, that comes out of our budget at the moment. You can also consider sponsoring a guest speaker or an activity. We have a few activities that do cost us, most don't, but the Breaking Boards activity is something that we would look for sponsorship for, the campfire, or any of the outdoor activities.
Realise that 70% of what police do every day is domestic violence. Leading cause of homelessness in women and children. 1 in 5 women suffer from domestic violence. 1 in 16 men, it does affect men as well. It's a program that has been developed by NAPCAN, the National Agency for Child Protection, and funded by Run Against Violence, which was started by Kiralee Dare. So it's a very sound educational program that's delivered to junior classes in high school and senior classes. Thank you.
Administrator invited the Rotary Club of Hero, from where I am coming, for an urgent meeting and highlighted the immediate need for a dedicated hospital facility to manage the rising number of COVID patients. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, the board members, the fellow Rotary clubs, and concerned members of the public came together and deliberate and identify a sustainable solution. As a result of its united effort, the Rotary Healthcare Trust was established, where I was the founder president of the trust. We, the government, will also support you monetarily and also whatever license we need. You know, building a building is always require government approval and other things. So he said, we'll do all the arrangements, we'll help you, you do it. The minister again came and requested us how long it will take. The builder, Mr. Nandagopal, told that it can be finished within 30 days.
He got mind-boggled. He said, is it possible? Whether the building will work, it will have the stability? He said, he will give guarantee for 100 years. This mega project was made possible through the collective generosity and the commitment of the Rotarians of our district. The Chief Minister of the state, he came, he saw the building, the growth and other things. He was very much impressed. So he inspected the progress of the concern. He expressed his deep appreciation for the dedication and the commitment demonstrated by Rotary. One is Asian record, the other one is India record, Tamil record, and elite world record. That means we have achieved this 70,000 square feet of land, square feet of building with the 2 floors and 2 halls, 70,000 square feet within 45 days. Around 300 workers working on this project, and the members of the trustees who are going regularly to the project. Within 45 days, we have collected 18 crores only over phone. No physical approach, nothing, only over phone. So this is the project. I should thank the donors who voluntarily gave their contribution without any hesitation. Without any hesitation. Oh, they call, I will give you this much. Otherwise, within 45 days, this kind of money cannot be collected. And it is all power of the Rotary.
I thought I'd start with just that history, because the theme of your conference here today is to aspire to inspire, and I think from a 6-7-year-old young girl in Bega and then to now be standing in front of you all here today, I think that goes to the testament of your theme here today, aspire to inspire. There starts my journey of service, and I know that with Rotary, obviously service above self is something that you live and breathe by, but the value of service really was instilled at a very, very young age. The truth is that I don't actually get nervous speaking in front of people, because that's how I was raised. I met strangers every single day. I had my best friends were friends for 2 nights, and then once they checked out, I never saw them again. So I got pretty used to speaking with strangers, and if I'm honest, and without making a joke out of it, I think I've had to have a lot of serious conversations over my career, and telling people that loved ones have been murdered or dead, and also telling parents that their child has been sexually assaulted and things like that. Just put something like this into perspective for me. So I learnt very early on the value of perspective, but also the value of service. When I was working at sex crimes, was really showed me how to treat people and how to treat victims and witnesses of the most horrific crime. And some of the people that I had met when I was at the sex crimes squad, particularly the victims and witnesses, they have changed the way that I am a police officer, and they have changed the person that I am for much better. And when I talk to junior police now, I talk about taking opportunities, and many people in this room would have a story about where you took a chance or you took an opportunity and it turned out very well for you. It's a really tricky occupation to do right now, and more police officers need to be social workers, they need to be cybercrime experts, they need to be negotiators, they need to be mental health experts. There's just so much on a young police officer's shoulders right now.
So what I'm going to do today is just give you a little bit of an overview of Anstoke, some of the breadth of the things that we actually do across the organisation. Then I'm going to talk a bit more about nuclear medicine. As we were introduced, cancer plays a critical role in the health of Australians, but also in exporting isotopes around the world. We have about 6,000 visiting scientists come to ANSTO every year to use our infrastructure to complete their research. Importantly, we have around 17,000 school students come to ANSTO every year. And really what we're trying to do is capture those fantastic minds for the future and those new people into STEM, because those kids will change the world. We have about 700,000 nuclear medicine procedures in Australia every year. To put it into context, this is where we get a little tiny bit of active nuclear material. It's injected into a patient. It's often used for diagnosis in what's called SPECT imaging, or in some cases, but not necessarily the same product, PET imaging. Now, I think this is the point at which it gets real, because there's probably no family in this room that isn't touched by either heart disease or cancer. These are hideous diseases, but nuclear medicine is the heart of diagnosis, staging and treatment. One of the doses, and it's about 10 to 12,000 doses a week they send out, on the end of every dose is a patient and a family. If you're dealing with something as hideous as cancer, you don't want to be travelling miles away from your family. You need that support around you. These drugs are fantastic. What's really good about them is when you give them the dose to diagnose it, it lights up where the tumour is. You know if it's lighting up that tumour. When you give the therapeutic dose, you know it's going to work. Chemotherapy is fantastic and works for so many people, but it works through the whole body and has, as you all know, sometimes some quite challenging side effects. These products go only to the active metabolizing tumour, and they're highly effective. So we're seeing more and more of these start to develop, and this is critically important for us to keep up that fight against cancer. And then iodine's been around for a while. It's used both in diagnosis and treatment of things such as hypothyroidism. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff down the bottom that we produce, make, ship around both Australia and the world. I'll tell you a little bit about the supply chain. So this is how we make nuclear medicine. We get a target plate and we put it into the opal reactor, and we irradiate that target plate for about 10 days. After we've done that, we take it out and we take it into a highly shielded facility, because now this is a highly active product. When I mean active, I mean radioactive. And then it takes about 24 hours to process that into a very pure product of molybdenum. And from that, we take it into another facility and we put tiny amounts. When I talk about tiny amounts, bulk production of molybdenum is about 30 millilitres. And that 30 millilitres is enough to do all of the diagnostic imaging for Australia for a week. It's highly active. So we take a drip and we put a drip onto what we call a generator, which is that white thing with the yellow band around it. And that's shielded with lead, and we send that to hospitals, and the hospitals pass sodium chloride over that every day and draw off the technetium that is then used daily, and those last for about 2 weeks. So we extend the life of the product by using clever technology. That whole process takes about 10 days, 11, 12, 13, 14 days. And once that's done, we ship it to all the hospitals, remembering that once it comes out of the reactor, it's losing 20% of its activity every day, because the half-life of molybdenum is 6.5 days. When it converts to technetium, it's 6 hours. The shortest product we make has a half-life of an hour, and we distribute that in metro areas.
Just stand still. That's it.
Warwick's award was for community service, more importantly, for community service over a long period of time and working with RESCA. And the whole opportunity of service above self is Warwick's motto of not only living each day, but being a Rotarian 24/7. So could we please congratulate Warwick on 69.
I have the pleasure of bringing up our RESCA VTT team that's that's going to Tonga. Now this has been a long drawn out process. We sent one to Vanuatu 6 years ago, and it was very successful. And this one we've been in negotiations with. We had quite a few expressions of interest from members from all agencies, the 7 agencies that are involved. We had the daunting task, BJ, myself and Simon, to interview and select the final candidates. And I've got to tell you, it was a hard choice because that higher calibre, all of them were worthy of doing the job. So if you'd like to come up on stage, please.
I didn't think we were going to get here. It's been a number of years in the making. Last week was when we finalised the actual selection for the team. Not all of our team is here, but we now have Natalie from Marine Rescue, Ali, Rural Fire Service, Lacey from SES, Jock from Fire Rescue, Paul from Ambulance New South Wales, and Paul from VRA. We're missing a couple. Circulate saying.
I've got a video to play. I'm here to launch I'll make the announcement around the next conference. So without further ado, I might just roll the video and then I'll catch up from there. We had some conversations with the other 2 districts in New South Wales, and I think we were just naturally drawn to trying to do something together. It had been done with previous districts in the past, and we thought it was a good time to reconnect as districts and make some new friendships.
So this conference, we're calling it From the Bush to the Beach because that's what it is. Our clubs range from right over in the west to Lake Kajalico, Condobolin, Parks, Forbes, right across to Kiama, right down to Bega. So we thought that Ulladulla was a really good place to have this conference. It's a beautiful place, there's plenty of accommodation, lots and lots to do. Don't just come for the weekend, come for a week and really enjoy yourself because in March it will be beautiful weather and I can assure you you'll have a great...
This beautiful coastline of Milton Ulladulla is the perfect place to come for the combined district conference in March 2027. Put it in your diary, March 5 to 7, 2027, and we'll see you here.
From the bush to the beach. See you in Ulladulla.
In 2027.
As we all know, Rotary conferences are a great time to reflect and be inspired by the content that you get from the speakers. As a neighbor, as a weirdo from the north, or as a neighbor, there is one more thing that I get to reflect on when I visit neighboring districts or even neighboring countries, as I have a privilege to do. And that is to reflect on how similar Rotary is, even though sometimes we do get caught up in focusing on the differences. I think human cognition is built to look for differences, hot versus cold, good versus bad. So we end up applying it to 9675 versus 9685, or the north of harbour versus south of harbour, Sutherland Shire versus the rest of the world, that sort of stuff. But I thought I'll share a few, 2 or 3 things that I found were strikingly similar. I think most of you will know there will be more and more occasion and need for us to work together. So I thought it'd be a good time to reflect on the things, not just the object of Rotary, which is of course the same everywhere, but even our methods and trends. Your desire to make the most of the entire resources of the foundation. There's so much fundraising that is done locally in countries as well. When we do global grant projects that we support from here, it's not about sending all the money from here. In fact, it's just unlocking the philanthropy that already happens in that country as well. 70 to 80% of the funds raised for the global grants that we do in our district, and I'm sure it's the same for you, is actually raised in the local country. And the other 20 to 30% comes from us. And I thank you again for having me here.
We are a Zone 8 project exclusive to Australia and New Zealand, supporting children of the Oceania who needs medical treatment to save their lives.
Hi, my name is Nigel. I'm from Camden Rotary Club. We're promoting our You Turn the Wheel road safety school program that we run, and trying to promote and encourage other Rotary clubs to do a similar kind of thing. We actually run a school safety program for about 10 schools in the Camden local LGA, partnering with Camden Council, New South Wales Police, the Road Trauma Support Group, and also Mount Annan Driving School. And we just try and encourage other clubs to do the same thing and hopefully save lives and bring our road toll down, especially for the younger generation.
We're here at this conference talking about shelter bags, which are a weatherproof sleeping bag for rough sleepers. They're distributed through Rotary clubs throughout Australia.
Interestingly, AI helps us to articulate the messages better, how we are going to connect, how we are going to chat with people. So everything is, whichever is not human intelligence, it's artificial intelligence. And the system becomes as capable enough based on the kind of input that you're going to give. So it's up to us to actually create our own engines, which is so powerful, which understands us. And for example, I also thought, few facts versus myth, right? So is AI going to replace humans? No. What do you think?
No. Ask Mr. Blatzy and what he thought about that.
No. How many of you say no?
No.
Well, I would say yes. AI don't replace us.
No. Because the needs are Mr. Blatzy and what he did.
Right, exactly. So jobs are going to keep evolving. The jobs will change, but do you remember the Y2K revolution? Yeah. Right? Where, oh my God, computers are there, we're going to lose all our jobs. Come on, we're all here today. We're doing global projects. We're sitting at home and doing amazing things, right?
Try not fill them too full. Keep them on the table to avoid spills. Make sure don't spoil your clothes.
Been such an inspiring day for me, and I feel really so blessed that it was an opportunity to meet incredibly inspiring people who've made this world a better place.
This is the best night. This is the best night, and what a wonderful way to celebrate Rotary. We're here to enjoy each other's company.
25 years, I've been to 22
conferences because I was overseas at the time. This has been wonderful. We were worried about it being one day, I'll be honest, but it's packed in. Speakers are fabulous. Vibe was fantastic, and tonight's just topped it off. Excellent work.
Arms out. Away you go. Go connect to other people from your heart and laugh.
Hi, I'm Wendy. I have come down from Brisbane for this conference and it has been terrific. Hearing so many people be inspired, watching them talk with such fun and knowing what they were doing, the chance to actually talk about the foundation. I have had a great time and I really thank Renga for asking me down. It's been just terrific, and then to add everything to it, Renga and Vadi gave $100,000 bequest to Rotary Foundation. How good was this day?
My name's Sean Jenkinson and I'm invited to speak to all these wonderful people at Rotary today about the work I do at Anstone. It's very inspiring to be able to come to an event like this, meet all these passionate people who are committed to achieving things around their district and the world, so I really enjoyed the opportunity. Thank you very much.
They're all really enjoying, and some of the people first time they're attending in the Bollywood theme, and hopefully they're going to enjoy the rest of the evening and really enjoy, and it is a good conference. Thank you.
I found today an experience that I haven't encountered for a long time at a district conference. I'd like to thank Renga and his team for putting together an excellent program. I walk away inspired. I want to really get back into the Rotary projects that I'm doing now with a more inspired attitude. So thank you very much to Renga and his team. All well done.
At this juncture, I want to give around 1,000 Aussie dollars for the foundation. Thank you.
Millie has raised more than $104,000 for charity.
We need to wrap it up. Going once, $1,000. Walter Bock going twice.
$1,000, Walter Bock. Anybody else last bids? Sold! Walter Bock, $1,000. The most generous man in the room, I think. Congratulations, Walter. Thank you very much. And thank you all for your generosity. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
I think you're getting a lesson in how to walk around. Great usage of accessories there. The gentleman who put his hand up first. Bring the energy. Brilliant accessory usage. Anavya's actually a fashion designer herself, so watch out for this one. Welcome, Rosemary. Oh, wow. It's not easy getting up here. You guys are all doing fabulous. Oh, wow, look at these guys. Looks like they've been practicing. Peter definitely had the moves tonight. And then, oh, Narelle apparently just bought this sari today. Talk about. And finally, tonight's couple of the evening, Wendy and Jeremy.
an amazing day today, from morning till now. Great speakers, great venue, excellent food, and great company. And everybody is having so much fun. We had the conference in the morning at Novotel, Brighton Sands, and just now we just finished scrumptious dinner, having dessert, and then ramp walk just finished, waiting for the results. And thanks each and everyone who supported the festival. Thank you from bottom of my heart. And hearty congratulations to DG Rangarajan and his beautiful wife Bharati Rangarajan.
Oh, it was a great day today, some really good speakers, and lovely to catch up with friends we haven't seen for a while. Well done, Ranga.
Thank you. Well, my name's Calvin Beag. I'm the Vice Chair of Rotary Australia, and it's wonderful to be here in District 9675 for the District Conference Gala. What a fantastic event thrown by Ranga, our District Governor, and the team here in District 9675. I'm very proud to be a part of the district team. Our broader community, it's wonderful to be in my kutta tonight as well and celebrating with our family here. So it's very good to be here, amazing time, and really appreciate the amazing work of our Rotarians. The best part of the event today was the acts, the cultural acts we got to see tonight. They're amazing, fantastic, wonderful to embrace multicultural Australia and see that come out here tonight at the District Conference.
Do you know? Nothing.
You're on, mate.
Come on, girls.
Well, the bartender said, son, what will it be? I want to show them that red yonder, looking at